Now then, people, good evening. Merry Christmas. Happy. No, it's day after Boxing Day. I don't know what this day is. It's a day in between Christmas and New Year, isn't it? Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Just Joe Football Show, a buoyant Just Joe Football Show, because we finally won away from home. And of course, Leeds United are now the best team in the league again. I won't let it go. We're now top of the tree. Happy days. All good is all good. And to be fair, I thought the performance was very good as well, to be honest. And I thought the manager got a lot right and his selection was right. And I don't think he missed a beat yesterday. I think we were all quite surprised when we saw Tanaka was dropped. And, you know, there was a lot of nervousness about that. And well, I say dropped, rested. It's probably the right word. But yeah, it was great. And Ampadu looked every bit the player he was before he got injured. So I think it was, like Righteous One said here, 5-star panel. I think the result and the performance was 5-star across the board, really, bar a 5-minute spell at the start, 5-10 minutes, and a great save from Melier. Because if that goes in, it's a totally different game. So he deserves his flowers for that. But yeah, it was great. So we'll find out what people thought, if they managed to see it through all that thick fog, as you can even see from the graphics behind me. Even they're like, wow, can't make out. It's a bit mad. It was crazy. But yeah, we'll go around and get everyone's synopsis on the game. But I want to find out how your Christmas was as well for the viewers and that. So Jack, we're going to start with you. Did you have a good Christmas? And then you can talk about the game.
I did, mate. Yeah, I just went round to my brother's. So he's got a few kids and that, so they were just running riot. So it's all good. Saw my mum and stuff. So yeah, it was a nice day. Christmas is always a good one, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, mate. It is for sure. Yeah. Right, now you can talk about the game.
Yeah, man, for business. But yeah, I thought it was just proper mint performance, really. Obviously, like you say, they had 10 minutes at start. I think the 5 minutes are a big chance right at the start of the game. I know you've said it was hard to watch, but it was literally like, I mean, it eased up a bit towards end at first half, didn't it? And then it started again. But I didn't actually know it was getting like pumped over to the right hand side, and I didn't even know we were on ball at points and stuff. Proper. Yeah,
crazy. I was trying to commentate on it, and I was going, I think it's James or Bogle. I'm not sure.
Yeah, like you've never watched them before or something. You're just literally just guessing who's on ball. But I thought Bogle would stand out. I thought it were absolutely. There were a point where I was just like, when it's somebody's on fire and it's just like, just give him the ball. And it's very rare you say that about a right back, but like when he had that shot on edge of box and stuff, and I was actually I'd normally be a bit more hesitant on edge of box to be shooting, but I was like, no, just hit it. He looked so up for it. It was probably his best attacking performance. I don't know. He just took the game to him, didn't he? He looked rapid and stuff. He looked really strong on ball, fast, and thought he was mint, and obviously set up James's assist, didn't he? I was buzzing for Peru, whatever you say his name, Perisley. I was buzzing for him as well. Like 2 goals his ace. He had a few chances as well, didn't he? So it's good for him to take them. I thought he'd messed up a bit, to be honest, on the first one. When he not messed up, but when he tried to beat the keeper, and then I thought it were a cutback as opposed to a shot. But obviously their defence thought that as well, and he sort of did them all, didn't he? So, but yeah, just a proper dominant performance. Apart from they had a couple of chances in the second half again, didn't they? But that's bound to happen, isn't it?
Yeah,
I love the Ampadu addition. I don't think he would drop, like you said, Joe. I know you said he wasn't. I think it's just a rotation thing as opposed to and Tanaka's played 90 minutes. Seems like forever
Jack,
now.
He's actually come out and said, as Farker, that in Germany they have a winter break, so he's sort of like not used to playing football around this time. Farker's actually come out that, so obviously you don't want to hammer him. So, and he said, look, you'll probably expect to see him back for Derby. So it's quite good that the manager's taking them precautions, I guess.
Do you reckon he'll drop Rothwell though, or
rotate? He brought him on, didn't he? For the last 10 minutes, them two together. But I don't know what that means for future. I don't know.
I just mean in terms of like, is Ampadu now, for rotating? Yeah.
I think he said after the game, he's our most important player, Ampadu. He said
it's just whether Ampadu's can Ampadu do it again? Another 90 minutes in a couple of days. It's like, he's just coming back, isn't he? So
yeah, like you said, it'll sort itself out.
Well, yeah, it got away with that one.
True, man. Legend. Andrea, over to you, mate. How was your Christmas? And talk to us about that game.
Was good. Was a good Christmas and long.
Did someone just go past on a Vespa?
Oh no,
what was that?
Vespa. You know, there was the motorbike, if you remember.
Yeah,
that guy. Yeah.
But right now it's too cold to get, you know, to get out with the motorbike. Yeah, it was a good Christmas, you know. Long as the
I love how you just moved on. It was like, it's too cold for the yeah, it was a good Christmas, mate. Yeah, forget the motorbike bit.
Yeah, like Lampard, you know, like Lampard in that
exactly.
interview. Yeah, but overall, you know, it was as long as the championship season. Regarding the game, instead, it was door is closed now. Yeah. No, regarding the game.
You have literally turned into Lampard. The door is closed. Yeah. No.
No, after the last final word, it seems like we cannot start on a normal way. After the last one with Babbo Natale, this one with the door. So every final word has something different. Yeah. Overall, I think it was the best performance, away performance of the season. I really liked it. Made me really happy because we show maturity, we show mental readiness to control the game and command the game. It was not easy because we know that they're a physical team. Look at the size of Berger, you know, in the middle. And early in the season, we struggle against those kind of teams. So it was a tricky and intriguing, you know, test to see how we coped against those kind of teams, you know. And I was very, very pleased because after the last 10 minutes, like you said, we took completely control of the game, good distances, Ampadu, like the commander of the game, the playmaker of the game, absolutely played like a captain, give the tempo and the rhythm to the whole team. Rothwell helped him properly, moving all around, especially down the left-hand side. Solomon James, always dangerous, always sharp. And I saw Solomon especially because James was on the other side and with the fog was very difficult to see him, you know. But even Peru, you know, we talk about him scoring goals and all that, but yesterday, every time you get the ball to him into the box, we know that outside of the box he's a different player, but he's also a threatening player when he's near the box, inside the box. And he proved it yesterday again, that if he plays inside, he's always dangerous. He always sees the goal. He always catches an opportunity to get a shot at the goal, you know. So overall, the way we commanded it, especially also Bogle, I think Bogle was the one of the best players on the pitch, if not the best player on the pitch. So overall, a very, very encouraging performance after the last underwhelming performances away. So absolutely happy Christmas. Now the door is closed and an happy performance. Yeah,
100% it was. We will get down to some like individual things I want to chat about, but yeah, Pirro. I know you mentioned both of you as the Pirro thing. I don't think any other striker in our team has the foresight to do that. Like even I'm watching it, I'm going, pass it to Solomon, and he knew what he was doing with the finish, just straight smashed it into the underside of the crossbar. It was like, listen, you're not getting this. It's going up, you know, and then I'll know it'll come back down kind of thing.
Didn't.
But, yeah, it was.
They didn't expect it. They didn't expect it, you know, because from that angle, you know, we talked about Lampard. You remember the goal that Lampard scored against Barcelona years ago in the Champions League? Of course, it was more far, you know, but I think every one of them expected him to pass the ball in the middle.
Yeah.
And he caught them off guard, you know, because he said, "Oh, I have an angle, and it's very difficult to get it."
So exactly. You know? Yeah. That's what I mean. It's one of them, and it's like that's what I mean. That striker's instinct to know if this goes up, no one's getting it. You know what I mean? It's going up. Yeah, it was a great finish, really good finish. Evie, we'll come to you next. How was your Christmas, first and foremost, and how did you see the game?
Christmas was really good. It's always fun and chaotic and emotional, especially when, you know, the kids, the older they get, the smaller the presents, and yet the more expensive they are. So it's very emotional, as in like when I look at my bank account and I, you know, just really feel like welling up. So yeah, it was fantastic. Lots and lots of food with my husband. You know, he used to be a chef, so we get spoilt for choice when it comes to food. The game, that was frustrating.
Christmas dinner at yours next year for us all.
Absolutely, yeah. it was frustrating. I couldn't tell whether it was the fact that I'd had a couple of gins or whether it was the fact that the pitch was actually that foggy and misty and things. Yeah, I don't think that I've seen a game that wasn't called off that was that foggy. I was genuinely concerned at points, thinking, what if we have to replay this if they decide after so long that they can't? I think if that was in the Prem with all of the other VAR and things like that, I think it's potentially called off, which is another reason why we don't want VAR. But it was like I said, other than the first few minutes where obviously we kind of they started how we usually start, just being quite fast and furious, and it kind of surprised everybody. We know that we're going to go up against a low block, which they don't usually start off fast. They usually start off with kind of, 11 players plus the ref behind the ball. So the fact that they actually tried to score a goal against us. But other than that, they didn't really do, like we limited them to 3 shots all game. Pirro had more touches in their box as an individual than they did as an entire team. The fact that the Sky commentators were just absolutely, falling in love with Jayden Bogle's attacking prowess as well was something else. It's nice that we're actually getting the compliments and the praise that we deserve, really, because I think last year, because Leicester and because of the kind of the romance of Ipswich, I think Leeds kind of fell under the radar when it came to the compliments and things like that, whereas I think this year people are actually seeing that despite having lost so many players over the last 2 seasons, we're actually a really well-balanced squad, and I think it shows great kind of desire for achievement if you're a player wanting to come, because that your place isn't guaranteed. The fact that Tanaka was rotated, we wouldn't have thought that would even be possible a few games ago. So that midfield depth is something that we've never really had. So I don't know about you, but it makes me kind of a bit giddy that we're doing something that's not allowed for Leeds United. We're not allowed to have a stacked midfield. It's something that other teams do. So yeah, I thought it was a brilliant game, and just a professional away performance. We just need to put an exclamation mark next to it on Sunday by doing the same.
Yeah, agreed. And, just before I bring in Lockie, I just want to hark back to last season as well. And it just shows, you can see here, just how much of an anomaly last season was, because us and Southampton, similar sort of points at this stage, really. We're only 3 points better off. But just look at how far Leicester and Ipswich were ahead at this stage. To think that we nearly pulled them in's even still quite quality, really, when you actually think how far they were ahead at this stage. So, that, again, when people were saying earlier on, but we hadn't improved from last season. If we get what we did last season, we go up this year. That's the point, isn't it? The whole 90-point stuff that, it don't get you up. Well, it would have normally, but obviously last season was just wild. To think that Leicester had 58 at this stage, as Lockie said, it is mental, absolutely mental. So fair play to them. But they're getting relegated, so it's all good. Let's actually, that we'll get onto that, but that's a bit of a worry for me that the 3 that have gone up are all in the relegation zone and look set to come back down. It's going to be some challenge.
I think it's different. I think we'll be fine. I really do, and that's not me being cocky. I think we'll be fine.
Hopefully, Evie.
I don't like us as an Italian talk about us in the Premier League, because we need to keep the superstition. Let's not talk about it until we get there, lads. Like the Napolitans will say,
What go on? Oh, shit.
So let's not talk about that. No worries.
Right, Lockie, I'm going to come to you, my man. Tell me about your Christmas and how you saw the game, pal.
All right. Just watched lots of festive things like House of the Dragon. Those Christmassy shows. That's all I watched. I'll be honest with you, that's all I did. And ate food. That was about it. Yeah, it was good. Enjoyed it. It's a quiet one, me and my girlfriend this year. Every year, to be honest. But yeah, it's good fun. But the game was interesting. Like you said, it was so hard to see anything. Every time I just looked at the screen, I just watch each final third. And they'd either come out over end and I go, oh no. Or you just see Dan James just run with the ball out of it. Oh, he's got it. Don't know how it's got there, but he's here. We're in again. And it happened about 20 times. But yeah, mate, I enjoyed it. It was good for what you could see. It was a good game, I thought. We just played really well. I disagree. People were saying that Ampadu slowed it down. I don't think he did in this one. I thought he was really good on it. I thought his decision in passing was really good. I feel like it's a team thing now that everyone's kind of on that same wavelength that we need to get it forward quicker. I feel they understand that now, which is good because that was a bit frustrating, wasn't it? But yeah, mate, I was really happy with it. I think everyone's touched on the main parts. Bogle, I thought was unbelievable. Like Jack said, he just played with energy, didn't he? He had more energy than anyone else. He proper wanted to win that one. So hopefully that's, you know, a standard for him now, and he plays like that every week or similar to that every week, because when he's on it, he's a joke of a player at this level. Yeah, the wingers were really good, like they have been for the last few weeks now. They've solidified their place for me. I think them two, unless they do all injuries or rotation, but them two look really good. And yeah, that finish from Perot is a joke. It's like it's literally an inch away from going 30 yards over at bar, but it's so precise that it's post and bar or whatever it is, and just go straight. And it's lovely to see. And I thought Aronson played well. I thought his decision making was very good in that game. He didn't hold on to it too many times, maybe once or twice. But apart from that, I thought he was really good. And yeah, Tanaka was not in the side, but the midfield still did the thing. And two very good players in there did the job. Meslier made an important save at 0-0. You know, stuck his leg out. Decent. It's what you need from him. That's what we're kind of asking in these tight games where there's just one moment they have, just save it, and then we'll be happy with you. That's all you need to do, really. Yeah, it was really good. We're better than them away from home as well. We've not seen that much dominance away. No. I just thought we played like it was a home game a little bit. So maybe that's a step to a good away form, hopefully.
Yeah. I do think having Ampadu back in away from home, just that presence massively lifts the squad probably as well. You know, be a good talker in there. I thought, you know, like Tom Cannon, for example, really tried to put himself about at times. But but Ampadu was there and having a go back and stuff, and maybe, you know, we do maybe lack that when he's not there. So it's great to see him back. And like you say, we'll go right back. Initial reactions, folks, to the lineup, because I genuinely was quite surprised to see. I thought we might see Ampadu in, but Strauch still on the bench. That's what I thought might happen. But then to see him rest Tanaka, still go ahead with Pirro, myself included, and quite a lot of the fan base wanted to see Joseph just away from home, just something different. There was complaints, obviously, about Aronson in the 10 again. But you know, to be fair to Farker and to be fair to the 11 that he put out, they were quality. What were your initial thoughts? Andre, I'll come to you because obviously we have a WhatsApp group and I've seen it popping off. It was quite a surprise, wasn't it, initially, I think?
Yeah, the first reaction was, of course, so now does he see Tanaka as a number 6 only and not capable of playing alongside Ampadu in the number 8? Because for Fortuna Dusseldorf, he used to play as the number 8. So my first reaction was, I don't like this, because I thought it was just a technical decision by Farke. But now after the game, he explained that, like you said, you know, in Germany, they have a long winter break until I think mid-January, late January, you know, so he's not used to play this amount of games during the festivities, you know, during the holidays. So, okay, now I'm more okay with the fact that we might see even Ampadu with Tanaka. But Rothwell was great too. So I think the work that Rothwell did yesterday, Tanaka can do that too. So they are really interchangeable, and I like them both honestly at the same level, because Rothwell is an unsung hero, I have to say, in this season so far. Not just for the set pieces, you know, but even for looking at the way he moves, looking at the way the awareness he has on the pitch. But yeah, going forward, I think Ampadu is the certainty that you have in the number 6. Then you can change the number 8 with Tanaka and Rothwell, because yesterday Rothwell played more all around, you know, moved, helped the build-up, especially connecting with down the left-hand side between Ampadu, Rothwell, Solomon, or the ball to Aronson. So he was a very good link-up player. But we know that Rothwell can also make central runs and progress with the ball in spaces. So having a player like Ampadu capable of playmaking the team, and with the vision that he has, and the number 8, either Tanaka or Rothwell, that is capable of having both vision but also pace and progression is vital. And I want to go back to also with what we were saying about the away form, and the 3 points that we got yesterday at Stoke. For me, this one, Stoke and Derby, these two games are vital and are massive in terms of getting past the ghosts of the away form, because people say, okay, and I agree, the away games like at Sheffield United, at Burnley are more difficult because you look at the opponents, they are top teams that are fighting for promotion like us. But sometimes it's even harder to get away with 3 points at tougher places with teams that are struggling to get out of the mid-low table, they want to climb back up the table. So 3 points to Stoke, it's difficult. Let's not underline this. Getting away with...
Just on that, Andrea, sorry, just to jump on, is like they'd only lost once in 8 at home as well. So as bad as they've been, they still were decent at home,
Absolutely. It's always a tough place to go. And the Pride Park is a tough place too. So if we manage to get 3 or 6 points or even 4 points, I think we should get 6, of course, because looking at the opposition, but it's not a guarantee, of course, a guarantee. It's not easy. If we get 6 points out of this, I think we have made the click to the next step, and we see the real Leeds United after this. Because if you get past these 2 tough away fixtures, I think the team mentally makes the next step, getting out of these 2 with 6 points. Yeah.
So looking at the scenes after the game as well, Joe. If you saw it, Farker like that one, he did a bit of an extra fist pump as well, and the players went up and clapped individually. You could see on the faces they knew this one was big. So they feel it as well, the away thing. They definitely feel it.
100%. Jack, coming back to what did you make to Farker's, I guess, confidence and confidence in the Pirro and Aronson 9 and 10 combination, and that scene, looks like it's going to be his go-to for the rest of the season, you'd imagine.
Yeah, I normally quite like it when I saw Ampadu in there, even though obviously Tanaka's been dropped, it's like surprising. But I normally quite like it. So I see it initially, I'm like, oh, but then it's like, right, let's go then. There's I always think like when players get not opportunities, because we know what Ampadu can do and stuff, and then sticking with Peru and Aronson for one more, was that the last game? And then Aronson was really good. He set up the first goal, didn't he, as well for Peru? And that was on the turn. It was a decent ball through. Yeah. I just feel like, it's last chance. So, then they get, it's like, this is it now. And especially with playing Ampadu for the away game, we've all been saying that we need to change it up, switch it up and stuff for these away games. And he did. So you look at the lineup, it felt like more had changed than it actually had because of the Aronson and Peru sort of conversation that's relentlessly going on. But I don't think he's going to be dropping Aronson in general. But I do think Peru was getting towards, even though I've been like quite just saying, just stick with it, he'll get some goals. And now I'm right. But I wouldn't have said that if he didn't score 2, but I'm only messing. But it would have been like it's getting to a point where it's quite hard to defend in it, and we're gonna have to move it on. So, but I'm glad he stuck with it, evidently, because it worked. But I just want to quickly say what Lockie was saying as well about like the speed of play and Ampadu. This idea that Ampadu slows it down. I said all last year that the problem is everybody goes into like this safe zone where if nobody's playing it forward, nobody wants to play it forward. So it's all like it becomes like, don't lose the ball. Nobody dares lose the ball because nobody's losing the ball, but we're not moving it forward. Whereas if everybody's taking chances and you feel like you have to be moving the ball quicker, the whole team do. So if you're slowing it down, you'll have Rothwell. He'll come and get it off him, won't he? And be like, come on, we're moving it. Rothwell's that type of player that he wants to be getting the ball. It's like, give me the ball. Let's go. Do you know what I mean? Don't mess around. Give me the ball. That gives me an extra yard on the, time on the ball and stuff. It's the game is better for us. Well, for anybody that plays possession-based football, if the ball's moving quickly, you've got so much more time on the ball. If you're lingering about on it, it's hard to just sort of like spark something up, and everybody's like got to be in some sort of in sync with it. I just feel like, and then when Bogle's flying forward and stuff, we just looked like we had loads of loads of speed in the game. I loved it. I thought it was brilliant. But yeah, I enjoyed the changes. You know, even though the one changes, it's sort of like holding in, digging in with it, and it did pay off, so.
It did, man. I guess it proved dividends in the end because, like you say, we can talk about the changes, and you could argue that, like you say, Brendan, Joel, and Ampadu were some of the better performers. I don't think we had any poor performers, but they were some of the better performers.
Also, as well, it'd have been the easiest thing to do to leave Ampadu at centre back, wouldn't it? And just sort of stuck as it was. That would have been much easier rather than saying, no, I'm actually going to drag someone out, get Stewart back in, and it's like, that's proving that he wants to. It's not just the easy option really, because he could have made a few arguments after the game saying, oh, Stewart's not fully fit, Ampadu's not 100% fit, so we're just sort of still like edging people in or whatever. But he's put his stall up. Also, I think with Ampadu, even though we know he's not necessarily playing for his position, he can't come in and just sort of chill out, can he? Now he's got serious competition. He has to get if Farker's saying you're back in and that's all that's happening, he has to then go and do it, doesn't he? Because if he doesn't, it's like, well, he comes back out pretty quick. So. And then he's got
to do a good job at either centre back or in midfield. Exactly, Either way, he's got to do a good job because there's people to cover both positions. So it's not like last year where if he did a bad job at one, then we probably will still need him at the other. Actually, we've got adequate cover for both positions. So I just wanted to say, if Byram doesn't pass the fitness test, who's playing left back? Is Schmidt finally given a go at left back?
I think the fact that he's brought him on twice now, it'll be I think that's what he's doing, isn't he? I think that's why he's bringing him on. What's happened to Volber actually? Where the fuck's he gone again?
He's had an operation a couple of days ago on his knee, I think it was. So he's still. It said it's going to be a late call, but the likelihood is with it.
For his January move.
It does make me a little bit dubious. I don't like to think the worst of people, but I do. And so obviously Thingamabob Firpo can start talking to people as of Wednesday as well. So for me, that's a position to be thinking about, either tying Firpo down or getting in a new left back in January as well. So we've got a little bit of comfort, and that we're not at the risk of a player like we were last season. We knew, because we were so heavy, like reliant on Somerville and Rutter, that we essentially couldn't do anything without them. I don't want us to ever be in that position again. So, and we also know that Schmidt is versatile. So I don't think that I would feel bad if we got another left back in, because he can play on the wing. He can play pretty much everywhere on the pitch. So I don't think we should let the fact that we've got Schmidt stop us from securing one way or another a left back, whether it's just renewing Firpo's contract or actually going out and getting somebody else in. But I just wanted to see what other people thought about whether Schmidt is actually going to be able to play in the position that we bought him for in the summer.
I think so. I think he's gonna be the right now, because of the situation with Firpo too. He has to be ready to step in, because he had the chance. Had he not been injured, he would have had the chance had he not been injured when we had both Firpo and Byram out. But I tend to agree with the possibility of signing another left back in January, though if that happens, I think it will be just a possible loan. And realistically, I agree with you, but I don't see them honestly going for another fullback. Honestly, I think they might. We've seen Leeds, just last season we just got Connor Roberts, for example, and we needed 3 players at least. So they just get the players if they are really convinced by the points, the pros, of signing them. Last season we needed another 10, another 9, and we just got at right back Connor Roberts. So I don't see them going for it. And with Firpo, it's difficult, because I think he might wait to see if we get back to the Premier League before renewing, because if we don't go up, and right now, we need to really be up for the challenge, because if we don't, compared to last season, will be a completely disaster looking at the state of the league this season compared to last season. I think with the contract running out, I think he might wait a little bit longer to see if he has offers from abroad before seeing if we make it to the Premier League and then maybe renewing it, because he's not, if fit and 100% focused, 100% fit, he's not a championship player. So I don't think he likes the possibility of playing another season in the championship if we don't go up. Absolutely.
Do you not think it's possible it's got something to do with like where he goes? If he signs a contract, that massively reduces who's going to take him on, doesn't it? Because then we're asking for a fee, so he can just ride his contract out. Look at everybody; he's in quite a strong position, isn't he now?
Oh yeah.
I don't think it's because people are saying that the club are like neglecting this and against Firpo, though it's like what are we, like we're wasting money on him. But if we've got 3 years out of him, and it was 15 million, that's 5 million. That's a £5 million signing a year, isn't it? Left back. You'd have taken that if we'd have got 3 Firpos, wouldn't you, in Championship? Or 2 Firpos as well have been in Championship. Nobody's going to pay 15-20 million for him.
No, they're not.
If he signs a contract, there might be one club in the whole world that'll pay that. Whereas there will be plenty of clubs when he's free that'll take him on. So I just think he's just keeping his options wide open, really. I don't think I think Leeds have probably offered him a contract, to be honest. I just don't think he'll want it. I do personally, yeah. I think they'll have offered him a year.
Yeah, I think so. And the real problem for me with Firpo is that, of course, we're still in a promotion battle, so it's not until you get promoted, it's not certain if we get back to the Premier League or stay in the Championship. So it's a question mark. On the other hand, he might have offers from, I think, La Liga or especially Serie A, because I think he might have some suitors yes in Italy, looking at the player he is, the way he plays, and the rhythm he has. So I think he will suit very good in Serie A, honestly. So it's a big question mark for the future, and I would like to see that sorted before the end of January, because after the transfer window in January, actually, he can already sign a pre-contract with another club. So I agree. I agree with Jack. I think they have made an offer. Of course, they must have, because he delivered when he played and when he was fully fit. We need to see now if the player wants to stay or see if he has any possibilities abroad, especially for me.
I think in a weird way, this injury has kind of gone. It's kind of made the manager and the team actually realise, look, Firpo is very good, but we've got very good players in that position. That, as the way we set up, I hope he doesn't go. By the way, I hope he comes back and he's fit and he plays every game. I think he's brilliant at this level. Of course he is. But what I'm trying to say is, if he did go, and say we kept Wöber, Schmidt, and Byram, you have 3 very capable players there who can rotate and play well in that position. So I think what we've shown without him in the team is that actually we can cope without him, which helps, I guess. Since he'd have gone and would have been terrible and we'd had no creation down that side, I think that would have struggled a lot. But again, it's down to him, right? I guess he's the one running out of contract. It's down to what he wants to do. He's 28, 29 now. He might want to go back to Spain. He might not. He might want to stay. I hope he does stay. I hope he sees us through to the Premier League or signs another extension at the end of it. He's a good player and he's a fine squad player if we do go up and whatever. But I think it's helped in a weird way the club or the manager realise that, whereas last year we were over-reliant on individuals, I think even Tanaka went out the squad and we didn't look bad. Do you know what I mean? I think the system's working very well, that we kind of look similar regardless of who comes out, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So I feel
we spoke about depth of squad and it being stronger and that at the start of the season, and people laughed it off, but it's coming to fruition. We are a better team this year, 100%.
Unlike last year, where we had good players, I don't think we had enough on the bench. There's probably 1 or 2 that had come on and make an impact. Whereas now you're looking at 3 or 4, 5. We still have the smallest squad in the league, though, which does worry me a little bit. Just 1 or 2 would make me a bit more comfortable, even if they're just mid-squad players that can just come in if there is an injury crisis, something like that. But because we've got, I think it's 24 players, and the youth lads are nowhere near it for me at this point. So I still think we've got to be careful that we don't because it is 2 or 3 injuries that you could get in a
Yeah.
week, which we've had this year, where you're in a bit, oh, what do we do now? But yeah, so we need to be careful still.
We do.
That's another thing that needs to be sorted again. That the youth system, because we're not producing anymore. That's the problem. Apart from Archie, of course. Look, years ago, how many players we used to produce. Now it's even the players that we produce. Gallard, Greenwood. We expect him a lot better from them, and now, unfortunately, they're not exceeded the expectations. Not met the expectations actually.
No, they definitely haven't.
I think what I will say on that, the only one that watching the 21s that I think is Sam Chambers is definitely one to watch. He's too big and strong and powerful when he plays in 21s. He just looks the best player on the pitch every time he plays. But obviously in the front areas, we're very stacked. It's more the defensive positions where we don't really have that big physical centre-back in the 21s level that can kind of come in, or that full-back that's really established. And other teams around us kind of do. They have Arblaster and the lad at Sunderland that's come in, the winger. He got injured, didn't he? But he came in.
Rig and Watson.
Looked brilliant. Yeah. So we are a little behind in that. I did a video on that actually, but it's so for me, because of that, I do think we probably won't, but I just bring in just 1 or 2 players just to be cautious, just so you don't
it's best. It's best. There's a reason why Ipswich and Southampton went up ahead of Leeds United. I think because they did bolster out the squad. When we went to shit at the back end of the season, we couldn't change it. We had nothing to change it to. It was the same personnel. Yeah,
Rothwell didn't play much for him, but when he did, he had 2 or 3 goals that won him games.
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
all I'm at. You know what I mean? That's kind of what we need to do for me.
And we can't. I don't want to hear Angus at the end of the window saying we tried. Like, I'm sick of him fucking saying that every single transfer window. Like, it pisses me off. But anyway, that's coming. January's coming when temperatures fucking flare. We will be there. Johnny Cooper's just tweeted out as well, and this was, I think this will be pivotal moving forward when we do play away from home. But since that 3-3 draw with Portsmouth on opening day, Leeds United have scored the first goal in 13 matches and won all 13 by an aggregate score of 32-2. So literally, I've only conceded 2 goals since scoring first, which just shows you how dominant we are when teams have to come out and play against us, because we're just so good at off the ball. That's insane, isn't it? That, like, 32-2.
So after we've scored first, we've only conceded 2 after we've scored first.
Yeah,
wow.
Yeah. It's insane, isn't it? It really is insane.
So when you score first, teams they know it's how do you get through that mentality?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I will.
Wow.
I would like to see that start, in the wall pyramid. I think it might be a good. Compared to the wall leagues, to the wall pyramid.
Yeah. That's a good point. It's amazing. It's almost like now. I think that a lot of teams are coming to Welland Road already beat. I think you're seeing, when you've got teams like Sheffield United coming and their manager basically ripping up everything he's done, changing it so defensive, and that's our biggest competition, you would argue. It just shows if they're doing that teams coming to Welland Road must be thinking, fuck's sake, how do we get out? How do we get away with the point? So if we can start to mirror that away from home, like I say, I think the maddest thing is that we've had 2 winning 9 games away from home and we're first. Yeah. Like if we turn a few of them, like even that, I know I hate harping back to it, but even that Sunderland result, that we're 3 points in front now. Do you know what I mean? So it's like, honestly, we are really now, have an opportunity to really kick on. I mean, Evie, I'll come to you. We're in top spot. It's sort of ours to lose a little bit, really. When you consider over the next few fixtures, they still have very tough games. Do Sheffield United and Burnley. I think Burnley have got Middlesbrough. Sheffield United have got to play Sunderland soon. I think that's actually on Sunday. And then we're away to Derby. You've got a real opportunity to kick on, haven't you? And then Blackburn at home, but it's at home. So we're like, 3 points in bag.
Yeah, it's different. I think if we can just essentially copy and paste yesterday's performance, we'll be absolutely fine. I genuinely, you know me, I don't like predicting score lines, but I will, be as bold to say that I genuinely think if we do exactly the same thing again, we will win. There's no doubt about it, because of the fact that even when there was a stumble, we still managed to come out on top yesterday, by quite a well, not even quite, just a comfortable margin, 77% possession, 20 shots. Yes, only 5 of them were on target. So we do need to be a little bit better when it comes to actually just having a little bit more composure in front of goal and converting some of those, at least shots on target, even if they don't straight away become goals. But I think that if we can just not Leeds it up, and the fact that as well, nobody's complacent with their starting position, really. I think the only ones that are kind of guaranteed are Strauch, Rodon and Meslier. Everybody else, there's a player that can stand in for them if necessary. So I like that, because nobody has the luxury of allowing their kind of performances to drop, because of the fact that if they do, they'll be dropped or rotated. Everybody has to be hungry for it, and everybody is hungry for it. And I think that is something that we have over other teams. Sheffield United have a brilliant starting 11, but don't really have much depth. Burnley have a really good starting 11, but again, they've got a little bit more depth than Sheffield United, but I think our depth is more proven now. I would have said maybe at the beginning of the season that Burnley potentially had better depth, but I actually think, because, obviously I don't ever want players to be injured, but because of those injuries, we've seen Rothwell, we've seen Tanaka, we've seen Byram can be perfectly adequate at left back or right back. We've had players out with suspension, all sorts of things. We've got no issues, and we have to utilise the fact that we've scored the most goals in the league by, a comfortable amount now. We've got the best goal difference, which, if the league continues with like the top 3/4 teams staying so close, it could be the season where goal difference actually is worth an extra point. So, as long as we don't Leeds it up, I think that we could go on a big run where we do not vacate top spot.
But if Evie's talking like that, it's definitely on, isn't it? Fucking hell. Also, I just want to shout out Kilgallen as well, by the way, who says some not here. Some say I'm not here when winning. Well, you've shown your face for once, mate. You've shown your face for once.
Much quieter, though.
Yeah, much quieter. Like, what's your thoughts on Farker after yesterday, and Pirro and Aronson and all these folks? Talk to us, Kilgallen, now. Thank you for being here. Dan James, I've just seen another stat. Lockie, I'll let you talk on Daniel, but Daniel James has created more chances in open play in December than any other player in the Championship. He's also had the most shots of any other player this month. Is he playing the best football of his career, do you think?
Oh, without doubt, mate.
Yeah.
Without doubt. I'll speak to my brother, and I know, I'm sorry I'm about to bring this word up. He is a Man United fan, I know. He was a Leeds fan as well, by the way. How sickening is that?
Yeah, that's bad.
Vile human. No, I'm joking. Yeah. But anyway, so when Dan James went to Man United, my brother always liked him. But when he first started there, it was brilliant. He said he got played out of position, then he didn't get played for whatever reason, and then he died off, confidence, all that. But he's a talented player, is Dan James. And even the assist, it was such a Dan James assist. He just kind of chipped it to the back post, in a weird way with his foot again, which he does, and I love it. Right? No players like him. He's so unique. He is, I've said this, Joe, he's the most dangerous player in the league just because of the fact of just how quick he is. He's ridiculously fast. And the fact that he's willing to use that pace in any moment in the game. Some wingers are quick, but they use it sparingly. Dan James he'll just occupy that fullback. That fullback can think of nothing else all game other than where he is at every minute. And that's an absolute nightmare, because you can't play his own game. He's just focused on where this guy is. And we saw it yesterday. Dan James would just stay out wide and run that back line, and Bogle just picked up the gap in there where he was every time free. And we clearly worked on that, I think. And if you look at that right side of Bogle playing like he did and Dan James playing like he did, he's absolutely deadly. How many times did we break down? There must have been 5 or 6 times we got beyond the defence. One led to a goal or 2 led to a goal. I can't remember. I think it's 1, wasn't it? But it's so good to have a player playing with. He just looks happier for me, playing with confidence, and he looks happy. He looks like he knows his game now. He's not trying too hard to impress. He looks like he just knows who he is. He knows he is as a player. He's playing the way he is. He's not trying to be this technical footballer. He knows what he is, and he's embracing it, and he's just playing the best football in his career for me. And
we have to give props to the manager for that, because he's a different player.
Absolutely. He's found that Dan James that was at Swansea before, where it was his confidence, always confident, even if he had bad games. Dan James I feel like he's the type of player now who is just always confident. Even if he has a few bad games, he'll still remain confident. And there's so many players in this team that have had that arc of improvement, but Dan James has got to be up there at the top. And he's what? He's 20.
The bike is not mine this time.
And he's what? He's 26, Dan James now?
I think so, yeah.
Prime of his getting into the prime. He's a joy to watch. Like I say, I didn't see much of the game, but every single time I just saw him appear from the smoke every time. It was from the fog. Honestly, every time in front of his full back for dead, every time. It's keep him fit and he's a joke, mate, to be honest. I could go on, I'll stop.
No, he's quality. I don't think, he's definitely playing the best football of his career. But he started well at Manchester United. I remember him scoring quite a few goals, didn't he, under Ollie?
Against us especially.
Yeah. But I don't know if can you hear that?
No,
there's a car outside. No, it's me anyway. Never mind.
I've sent it to you. The bike that was just starting and arrived there. No, can I just say on Dan James too that last time he was in the Championship, he was still a young player, completely very, pacey. I just want to run the defenders. Now he is developed into an all-around player. And looking at these at his game in the past, it's not easy to see. It's not common to see a player at 26, 27 making that switch and developing into an all-around player in just 2 seasons. Because if you remember the player that was under Bielsa, briefly, unfortunately, because he was playing in the 9 because of the injuries, the player that got less chances at Fulham, he's now a completely different player because he plays like a veteran and he knows what is expected for him. And what is expected for him is not just try to run in behind or counter-attack like he did with Swansea. Now you are involved in the build-up. You can stretch the team, but also be involved in center spaces too. And that's the biggest switch that he made in order to jump above Gnonto in the hierarchy,
Yeah, and do you know what? In his career, he's been through so much as well. Obviously, he was a Swansea, the failed move to Leeds. His dad passes away, then goes to Man United, then he goes back to Leeds. Then he's farmed off on loan and deemed not good enough by Jesse or whatever. And then he's at Fulham and then he's back and then we get relegated and then he's lost in a playoff final. So in actual fact, he's gone through quite a lot. So that experience as well, I know Evie was talking about as Leeds in it. I think the experience of last season will help massively with the core group and the squad. They've been there, they've done it. We know what's required this time around. So yeah, I think...
You know what it is, Joe? Can I just say, from all that you said, makes him... I think he wants to be known as something at this club. Obviously, he was at Swansea, he probably left too early.
It was his dad's club, right? It was his dad's club, wasn't it?
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah,
I think his dad is a Welshman from Hull. Lived in Hull. Yeah. I think it might be true that he used
I think he was a Leeds fan. I think his dad was a Leeds fan. I think, mate. I don't know.
But yeah, that's amazing. But for me, he wants to be something here. I feel like he's comfortable, he's happy here, and he wants to be known when he retires as a good player for Leeds United that really helped them achieve something. And he's not had that yet, really, has he? He's had moments in a Leeds shirt. He's had moments when he was at Manchester United. He had moments at Swansea, obviously a good season. But I think he really wants to establish himself as a player at a club where in 20, 30 years, we got Dan James, were a quality player for us. And you know what? I know this term gets thrown around, but he's proper Leeds. He looks like a proper Leeds player to me. He proper wants every minute of it. I love it.
He seems to be getting over, when everybody got frustrated with the wayward strike or the wayward cross, they still creep in every now and again, but then his next one's bang on, isn't it? Whereas what had happened previously, it'd be like there'd be a few in consecutive and you'd be like, whereas I feel like he just backs it. It's like I don't want to patronise him, but it's as though it's like, I'm going to frustrate myself. So don't worry about it. Like, just get the next one right. Do you know what I mean? It's like he's got used to his pattern, and he's obviously working hard to not. Because I also think people are a bit harsh on his end product as well. Because I think he creates a lot of his own opportunities just being so rapid and stuff.
Yeah.
And it must be hard hitting ball at that speed, you know, when you're running that fast.
Yeah, I honestly, the amount of times I'd go, his fucking legs go faster than his brain, man. He's walloped it again or whatever, man. He used to irritate the shit out of me.
I just think he's got rid of that, though.
He has. Yeah.
It's still there and about, but it's not, as I say, it's just like, that one will way, well, don't worry about it. I'll be there again in 30 seconds and we'll go, you know, get it right. And he's doing it. So.
I genuinely, I'm not saying that we wouldn't have been relegated because it wasn't the scoring that was an issue. It was not conceding that was the issue. But that relegation team had very few players that were A, good enough, and B, that wanted to be there. And the people that maybe had a little.
Is that me?
No.
I
She
think
looks
it's
scared, doesn't she? As a spider just come in room or something. Hopefully she'll be back in a set. Do you know what? I'm gonna. She won't like her face like that. So I'll remove her.
I'm just saying about Dan James players not wanting to be there as well. She must not want to be here. I'm out of here.
She's off. She's still froze now in the green room as well. Green room. In the
green room, NBA draft.
Yeah. I think she might be back. Hang on, she's moving now. Are you back?
I'm potentially back. I don't know how many times. I think I've dropped out maybe 10 times today. I can't remember where I got to before it cut off, but I think that he would have been successful in the relegation season because he, you know, like Lockie said, he wants to be here. He gets Leeds, and we love somebody who gets it, but also he has the skill and the composure to back it up as well. You know, he's not just vibes. He is actually a very talented footballer, and you can tell it meant so much to him when he got the song and everything, you know, and the fact that, you know, we create songs for people that are here all of 5 minutes, and actually Dan James's story started so long ago now, even obviously before he was actually physically here, that he deserved a song. So I'm very happy as well because he's been one of my favorite players for years now, and I finally feel like I'm kind of vindicated in my love of Dan James.
You do right. Cash those receipts, man. Cash those receipts. Just a bit of transfer stuff as well, just off the thing. James McAtee is going to leave City in January, but the clubs are Forest, West Ham, Brentford, Palace, Bayer Leverkusen, Dortmund, Leipzig, Fiorentina, and Bologna. So Leeds United will not be getting James McAtee in January, as a lot of people was hoping for. So we're not getting him. Probably go to Germany or something, go work under Xavi or something, you know what I mean? Xavi Alonso, sorry, not Xavi. So that's not happening. So, anyway, let's finish up because I know people have got to shoot and stuff. They've got work to do, DJing and all that shit. Try guess who that is.
I can't get to a feed at this point without you mentioning that. It's like...
I know, I have to, mate, because I tell my friends, I'm like, I know a DJ, you know.
You haven't seen where I work, though.
I know, yeah.
You'd be like, no,
local Weatherspoons. What's this, Jack? I thought it was like Ibiza Rocks.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's quickly get some score predictions and thoughts going into Derby. Do we see changes, Jack? And what's your prediction for it?
Yeah, I think there'll be something happens in centre mid. I don't know if Ampadu will be ready in reality, so that might have been a thought going in, you know, with Rothwell and starting Ampadu, because then we can go back to Tanaka gets his rest, and then we go back to normal, don't we? But other than that, I can't see him making a change really. Obviously, Byram's a doubt, isn't he? Did we say Byram a doubt?
So, yeah, Byram. Yeah.
So obviously that might be a bit sticky, but I probably reckon Byram's all right. He either comes off limping, and it's sort of spoke about. I mean, he seems to bounce back pretty well, doesn't he? So for all his injury woes, so yeah, I don't think there'll be too much change. There never really is there? In fairness with Farke, he likes to keep it.
Yeah, he does.
Simple, doesn't he? So But yeah, we should win. But I say that every game. Though I think we should win every game, full stop. So it's whether we do or not, it's obviously the art of it. But
yeah. I think it'll be a similar sort of game.
They're all like every team down there, or every team like 6 down are all like in the last 5, 2 wins, 2 draws, 1 loss, or 2 losses, 1 draw. 2. Do you know what I mean? They're all like nobody's got any form. That's why they can all get out of it. That's why when you see a team like lower down in the league and you think, well, Stoke would only have to win 3 on bounce and they'd look like a decent side. Do you know what I mean? It's only like tiny little runs of form that sort of does them all over. So you only need a little bit of a boost from them. I mean, Derby beat West Brom. They beat.
Yeah.
Corberant's best manager in the world, isn't he? So
he's not there anymore, bro.
Is he actually not?
No. He's gone to Valencia. Yeah,
I heard he was going. Yeah.
Shit,
we're waiting on that as well. I actually did hear that. I saw the thing and I thought, I can't even bother clicking on this.
He's gone.
That's why they beat him, Jack's. Carl's club.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Because I think actually Sheffield United might have him this on Sunday. It might be them. And I was before thinking a draw, but now that he's not there, Sheffield United will probably win.
Yeah.
So.
When are they playing Valencia then? then we'll be able to see.
Yeah, we'll see. I hope he does well. I like Carlos. Yeah. Come on then, Andrea. Thoughts for Derby, mate?
Yeah, I think it will be a very similar game to the Stoke City one, honestly, because we've seen Derby at Elland Road. They are absolutely horrendous. Look like a League One club, honestly. Not club, sorry, like a League One squad, because if you look at their history, of course, as a club, they're absolutely Premier League in terms of their history. And going back to the history, I'm really, really pleased. Looking forward to see that 70s matchup with their white shirt and a yellow shirt again. Honestly, because it will, seem like an old retro game, in that regard. I think we win. I think we win 2-0, honestly. Very, very similar game to Sol, like I said, because I agree with Jack too, honestly, on Ampadu. I think the only change might be him not starting, because we still need to manage his fitness. He played 90 minutes. We need to still, manage the minutes that he played and not playing 90 minutes again in this game that is coming up, and I think he's ready probably for that. So I think he might start Tanaka and maybe changing like he done with many players that were returning to injury, like he does Stoke with other players. I think it might be a good way to manage Ampadu, getting back slowly. He started at Stoke. He was on the bench in other games. He started as against Oxford. You still need to manage, because it's Oxford, Stoke. It's all very consecutive games. So I think Tanaka maybe as DM, and that might be the the only change apart from Schmidt and Byram. Yeah. We have the legend.
We have so much fun watching Saeed's reaction, so it's all good. It's all good.
Yeah.
Mate, was it Andy Tate was talking about them being in a relegation battle and thinks they might get relegated? It would make my I mean, they won't, of course they won't, but yeah. It's quality to see. Big up Saeed. I hope you're doing well, mate, anyway. Yeah, therefore, Andrea. Right, because I know Jack's got fans waiting for him at the DJ spot on that, so we need to wrap this up quick time. So, Evie, Lockie, just give us some quick predictions.
Go on, Evie, you go.
I think that we'll win. I think it'll be a lot tougher than Stoke by a country mile, mainly because it's a little bit more personal, and they've got a very good home record at the minute. I also think that if Ampadu doesn't 100% pass the fitness test, that he will be back on the bench, and that's not a slight on Ampadu. That's just, what's the point of risking your captain when we've seen that we've got suitable replacements that can more than adequately do a job. And as well, it means that Derby can't necessarily 100% get where we're going to, who is going to start, because we do have such good depth. Yeah. So, yeah, I'm going to say that before my internet goes for the millionth time this evening.
Don't worry. Lockie?
Yeah, obviously just the rotation things with maybe Byram potentially not playing twice in a week, which has been said. So we'll see how much we stick to that. And then one of the three midfield, I don't really care who it is. They're all three of them are quite good out there. Just play whoever's first, to be honest. It'll be a tough one though. Obviously, decent record. We played them a few days ago, so they've got a lot of footage to watch and all that stuff. So it'll be a tough one. 5-0 leads.
Yeah, exactly. 100%. I think we'll win as well. Listen, folks, there'll probably be a preview out tomorrow, and then Sunday we play again. It never stops over the Christmas period, but that's why we love it. So there'll be a preview out tomorrow. Make sure you check out City of Leeds fans and Jack City Music. Make sure you check out Andrea on Twitter, always covering basket. Anything that an Italian sports person involved in, he'll watch it. Yeah, tennis, bloody water polo, whatever. Yeah, check it out. Check out Evie on Discourse.
And football as well.
And football, yeah, football, of course. That's a given. That's a given.
Water polo.
Water polo, yeah. Trust me, you watched everything as long as there's an Italian in it.
I don't watch water polo though.
You don't?
I watched that. After what they did to us at the Olympics, with the steal from Hungary game, and watch it. Yeah.
No.
Oh, see what I mean? So he did watch it. See what I mean? He's like, I'm burned by the water polo. I'm burnt, huh? Evie on Discourse of a Peacock. And of course, Lockie at Lockie Leeds, smashing out the content of late. So make sure you go check it out. And yeah, I'll see you tomorrow pre-record at some point. And yeah, that'll be it. So thanks, everyone. Peace out and have a good evening. Bye-bye.